Nicola Wakefield Evans has spent decades advocating gender diversity. The Lend-Lease board member is part of a global movement to get companies to have at least 30% women on their boards.
There's economic advantages for having proper diversity in our organisations, and that's right across, that's starting from our political organisations, our governments and our corporates, our not-for-profits.
She says Australia has a cultural problem that sees women in leadership and other walks of life treated poorly.
The way that Christine Holgate was treated as the CEO of Australia Post, I don't think the Prime Minister and his team would have treated a man in that role the same way that they treated Christine.
I think it will be up to business to show the way and give women a fair go at leadership jobs.
On the ASX 200, there are still 82 boards with less than 30% women. Only 21 companies have a female chair and only 10 women are chief executives. On average, male employees earn $25,000 a year more than women, and 45% of employers who undertook a gender pay gap analysis haven't done anything to fix it.
Right through the economy, we see this power imbalance where men have dominant positions in leadership and in terms of remuneration, and there needs to be a culture of change.
In 2016, the boss of Australian Super, Ian Silk, wrote to 17 companies because they had no women on their boards. Now there's just one.
When directors come up for election and shareholders have the opportunity to cast a vote, increasingly they're looking at issues such as diversity.
Ming Long sits on several company boards. She says male leaders treat gender targets as a tick-the-box exercise, but there should be financial consequences when companies fail to act.
The quickest way I've been able to see accountability applied is through a bonus system, by ensuring that people have targets as part of their short-term and long-term incentives.
Targets, UN Special Advisor Elizabeth Broderick says should be championed by men.
Lack of women at the top is one of the reasons we have sexual harassment in such a pervasive form in Australia today.
She wants to see companies put an end to non-disclosure agreements that bury stories of sexual harassment.
Give women the ability to tell their own story in their own words at a time of their own choosing.
It's taken decades for women to climb the corporate ladder. And while 30% targets for boards are a minimum, it's not gender parity. A number of organisations are now setting higher targets in a bid to achieve more equal numbers of men and women.
There's always going to be people who are not ready for quotas, but if we can't get to a position where we have a really good number of both men and women on boards, then I think that we have to think about how we move the dial, and if that's quotas, then so be it.
The head of a group of super funds holding more than $1 trillion worth of investments in companies wants at least 40% women on boards by 2025.
We've written to companies and asked them to tell us what their pathway is to get to that position.
A position that's become harder to reach because of the pandemic.